Ladies first. Let's be traditional.
Oh, thank you. Long time since I've been called a lady.
That's not true.
It's true.
How are you?
Good, actually. How are you?
I'm very good. Bearing the clock.
Bearing the clock. What a lovely clock it is.
You don't have any idea what's about to happen to you, do you? Didn't even think it was in Vision.
No, I know. I thought it was on the radio or something. I don't know. But I'm excited. I'm
Yes.
here. You're very persistent. I like you. Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it.
I trust you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Now, my first challenge to you, because you're very famous for giggling,
Yeah.
is to see how much giggling we can do. No pressure.
Okay.
That was almost a silent answer. That's a giggle.
No, all right. But real giggles can take up to 8 minutes, so you've got to be careful with that
That's
one.
true,
all right?
that's where you're involved.
Yes.
I want to find out a few sort of little things about you.
Okay.
What sort of music do you listen to?
I like Michael Bublé, musicals, 1970s music.
Do you have a favourite colour?
Most shades of blue.
What is your favourite meal of the day?
Not exactly a meal, but my favourite bit of the day is cup of tea first thing in the morning.
When you're not listening to your favourite music,
Yeah.
how do you chill out?
I like to do the garden, sit in the armchair, watch television, read a book.
What is the key to the Fern Britton success story? Because you're coming up to 30 years in television. What's the secret?
I don't know. I really didn't think I'd last 30 minutes, let alone 30 years. I've enjoyed it, I've worked hard, kept my head down and enjoyed it.
Was it part of the plan to be the sort of personality who seems quite approachable on screen?
I
that
don't ever
people
have
like?
a plan. I never have a plan. As you can tell, I've made mistakes, I say the wrong things, this is who I am.
But do you see yourself as someone who... Do you recognise yourself as being someone who a lot of people can identify with?
Oh, I don't like it when people write to me and say, oh, "You're such a role model." I think, "Oh no, I don't want to be a role model. I'm not important. I'm really dull," and I am.
You're quite open about yourself
Yes,
and about your life, and you have written a book about it.
yes.
But when the whole gastric band thing happened, did that come as quite a shock? Did you feel ill-treated by it all?
Slightly ill-treated, but it's over. It's done with, and it was all nothing.
Do you think that we have got the balance right in this country when it comes to privacy?
I think we're unhealthily interested in other people's private lives. I mean, not just mine, everybody's, and I'm as guilty as anybody. You see it on the front page and, oh, that's interesting, you read it, whether it's rubbish or not. I think we should be allowing people to actually get on with their jobs, and if they're doing the job well, we don't need to see the rest of it.
As I said, you talk quite a bit about yourself, though, and you've talked about having depression.
People ask me, so
I know.
I tell you.
It's my fault. But tell me a little bit, if you're happy to, about your depression.
Very happy to talk about depression because it's the big thing that's happening to a lot of people, and people are frightened to talk about it and to say it's happening to me. For me, it can come in a big fog, a big mist that rolls in suddenly and envelops me, and I find it hard to see out of it, and I can't believe that people can't see it hanging around me. And it doesn't last for a couple of days, it's weeks and months, and it goes on until it's unendurable. But now, thankfully, as I'm getting older and my family life is very settled, I seem to be coping with it much better.
You have 4 children.
Yes.
How do you juggle that with all the TV? Because you're still doing TV.
Yes. The children have been very accommodating. I'm always there at one end of the day or the other. So now I've given up this morning. I do get them up for school, breakfasted and off to school, do the school run in my nightie. Or I'm there in the evenings with supper cooking and everything else. So I don't think they've missed me.
I don't really want to get into the nuts and bolts of it, but were you surprised that your interview with Tony Blair ended up making headlines?
Yes. Yes.
Should we leave it at that?
Well, I'm just grateful that I asked an opportune question and he answered it in an opportune way.
What do you think, though, is the secret to a good interviewer? Because you've interviewed a lot of people.
Yes. Listen.
Okay.
Listen to what they're saying and get ready to go with the flow. You can have a structure in your head, which is great, but be ready to take it off.
You have been doing an interview series for the BBC.
Yes.
Who would you most like to meet or interview in the world?
The Queen. She's the one person I think that everybody would like to interview because she's living history, and I think she's fascinating. We'd have to give her a truth drug, perhaps before we started, to make sure we got the answers, but wouldn't that be marvellous?
You're not suggesting that she'd lie, of course.
No, I mean that she... No, absolutely not.
You're not going to get that interview otherwise. I'll race you to it.
OK, we've got 5 seconds to say... No, I mean to let her feel relaxed and open up.
That is all we've got time for.
Brilliant. Matt, thank you.
Really nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you.